What's going on? What's going on?
Entertain the Geeky.
Guys, what's up?
Hi.
We're back to the normal recording rig, which is really nice here.
Yes, quite.
It's
have
been
this nice fancy curtain behind us. It's very fancy.
There's curtain and a table.
Yes, quite.
Because you can't talk to another human being without a table between you.
Apparently.
It officializes
Apparently,
things.
you gotta have the table.
Okay. So we were chatting a little bit, and we didn't do our show syllabus. That's my fault.
No. I don't, but I think there's enough big shit we haven't been able to cover since we've been off for a few weeks.
Yeah.
That we didn't need that. Right?
I don't think we need that this week either. And
I mean, I like that. I like that format. I think we can go with that format forwardly.
I think the format's very positive for sure. But yeah, I think.
But there's a few categories to hit regardless.
Yeah, for sure. And okay, this week, trailers, castings, or I guess over the last week and a half,
Over
really.
the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow, man. So, can we start on Fantastic Four?
Sure.
Because, holy shit. So,
I'll talk about anything.
Pedro Pascal is gold right now. He is gold.
We already knew that he was going to be Mr. Fantastic, though.
Good God.
That was leaked a few weeks ago.
It was, but how brilliant.
A month ago or so at this point.
And then we have fucking Eddie Munson.
Joseph Quinn.
Joseph Quinn.
He's going to play Johnny Storm.
The
human flamer.
So I thought they were...
I mean Torch, sorry.
We're going to get canceled for that one.
It's an Arrested Development joke.
I know.
You didn't watch Arrested Development?
Oh, I watched the shit out of Arrested Development.
It's an Arrested Development
Actually,
joke. Tobias called him the human flamer.
With Arrested Development, so I absolutely adore that series.
It's great.
My
it's
wife
a great show.
can't stand it.
Oh, it's crazy. Your wife's
like,
crazy.
She's like, this is annoying. And I'm like,
it's hilarious.
I'm like, this is fucking dry and brilliant.
I watched it when it aired. It's so good.
It is so good.
I was watching it on Fox because it aired on Sunday, like after The Simpsons or right before The Simpsons. I think it was the lead-in to The Simpsons.
When they came out with the like that last season just for Netflix.
There was 2 seasons for Netflix.
Oh, yeah, I guess there were 2.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
Oh, my God, dude. I was so
4 was
beside
okay,
myself.
5
was awesome.
5 was good. Yeah,
it
5
was awesome.
5 was a very good return to form for the show.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yes, Joseph Quinn is going to be the Human Torch, the second one.
Who else we got here?
Eben Moss Baccarat. I don't know how you say that guy's name.
That fella.
He is recently in The Bear, which I guess is pretty popular. I haven't watched it.
The Bear's a big one. Mm-hmm.
But he was also Micro in The Punisher.
He was.
Season 1 of The Punisher. And he was rando betrayer guy in Andor for that mission they were breaking in. Or did he betray them? Was he betraying them?
I felt like he was, but maybe he
Somebody
wasn't.
betrayed them. I think it might have been him.
Either way, anywho, yeah.
He's great, and he's playing Ben Grimm,
and then,
Thing.
Who was
And then Vanessa Kirby
Kirby
is playing Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman.
So Sue Storm, I did not know who to expect.
Sure.
Honestly. And then Joseph Quinn, I was so stoked about that casting.
Well, you have a poster with him on it.
I know.
Literally right in my periphery.
I know, man. I Stranger Things is my shit.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so yeah, when I saw that as our Human Torch, I was like, come on, done.
Yeah, he's great, and I'm sure the whole cast seems like it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be brilliant.
Seems like a better cast than we've gotten up to this point.
I mean, so Chris Evans was a good Human Torch.
No, he wasn't.
No?
No.
Didn't think so?
No.
I thought he looked the part.
You can look the part all you want. You still have to be able to portray the character, and he just did not.
And he nailed Cap. He did a good job.
He did a great job as Cap. He's a great Captain America. He made Johnny Storm a sex pest.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm is not a sex pest.
I think
Johnny Storm is a bit of a man whore.
I think that was. But
he's not a sex pest. There are literally moments in that movie where I had to stop and go, wait, that's called sexual assault, and it's not okay, Johnny Storm.
Slow your roll, bro.
That's not. But pump the brakes. You can't say shit like that. You can't do shit like that. Just because you're sexy doesn't mean you can get away with that kind of shit.
Oh, my God. Just because you look like Captain America doesn't mean you can say and do what you want.
Yeah, I think the only good thing about those original Fox movies was Michael Chiklis as
Mr.
Ben
Fantastic.
Grimm.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing.
Mr. Fantastic wasn't bad.
Ian Grufferford,
Whatever his name was.
I
Yeah.
don't know, he was not great.
He was not memorable, but not bad.
But yeah, I think Michael Chiklis was great. I think that was good casting. I think he did a great job playing the character. I think he understood who the character should be and how he should be portrayed. He also was, if you watch it behind the scenes, he was very adamant when Fox started asking him things that just didn't fit with who he thought the character was. He was very adamant, like, nah, Ben Grimm wouldn't do that. Like, he made sure to keep it accurate.
When you have to give it to an actor when they're willing to do that. Like,
yeah.
If you think that's not true to the character, man,
I feel
by
like
all means.
at their wedding, he's wearing a yarmulke, like, because he's also a Jewish character, and that's a big part of his story.
Right.
Is his Jewish heritage. And if I remember right, at the beginning of the second movie, when they're doing the wedding, I think he's wearing a yarmulke.
Well, and then there's the abysmal Fantastic Four flop.
Fant-Four-Stick?
Oh,
Fant-Four-Stick.
good God. I remember
yeah, that movie's bad. That was a really bad movie.
that movie's been shit on unanimously by everybody, I think.
Yeah, I don't even buy the director, like, saying, oh, if you'd have seen my movie, it would have been great. It's just like, yeah, I just feel like that's a cop-out, though. I feel like you're just trying to make it sound like it wasn't your fault.
Dude,
you
directed a shitty movie.
Yeah,
and
you made a shitty movie.
I'm sure the studio interfered to some extent.
Studio interferes.
They do that on every movie.
Yeah,
yes.
Every movie's got studio interference as a problem. You know?
So, yeah, okay, but was that the whole reason your movie sucked? Come on, dude.
No. If any of that third act with Doom all of a sudden becoming like telekinetic was his idea, that was terrible. I don't know what you were thinking. That was a bad idea. That's not who Doom is.
So
I don't know, like, understand, like, he's made of metal. He's a metal man. Like, he's not a metal man. Both movies did that. He's not a metal man.
No, that is you are 100% right.
He's not a metal man. He's just a man.
He is. No, he's a robot now.
No, he makes robots to fool people, but no,
he's the Tin Man.
He's a
Wizard of Oz.
and he wears the mask because his face got all fucked up.
Yeah,
He's very vain, so he wears the mask. He's the king of Latveria.
So
his power comes from sorcery. He's basically evil Doctor Strange.
We have a lot to look forward to, though, in this new flick. Like, I'm excited about it. I think we're finally going to get a good flick.
Picture indicates that it might be at least for part of the movie, be a story that takes place in the 1960s.
Should be bitching.
Well, so I think there's a good to fair chance that that's going to be the reason why we haven't seen the Fantastic Four up to this point, and why there's been no mention of them. Is I think this movie may start in the 60s, but I think they're gonna get involved in something that jumps them into the future.
Probably has to do with Kang.
I would imagine it probably has to do with Galactus. I
Galactus
think they're
makes
bringing
sense.
Galactus into the story because I don't think they're gonna do Doom right out the gate. I could see Doom maybe being like a, final scene tease or something.
Of course,
post credits,
like what we had with Thanos back. in the day.
Yeah. But I don't see Doom being the villain because every one of the movies has used Doom up to this point, and I think they just need to distinguish themselves.
They need to give him some. There's Doom fatigue now.
Well, no, I don't think there's Doom fatigue. I just think that there's so many more villains that work that are great. The first Fantastic Four villain was not Doom. It was the Mole Man. So do the Mole Man. Do the weird Mole Man that's like obsessed with Sue and like discovers the moloid species because he like goes deep underground and becomes their king. And they like uses them to invade the surface world to try to show Sue Storm that he's like a man. I'm serious. That's literally his story.
I'm sold. Let's do this one. Let's do that one, guys. Hey, Marvel, if you're listening to this right
now. I'm sure. Yeah, we're so important.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's the first Fantastic Four villain was the Mole Man.
Okay. Then we got a fucking Deadpool trailer.
We did. Super Bowl Sunday a couple weeks ago gave us our first look at Deadpool and Wolverine.
Very exciting, man.
Actually called Deadpool and Wolverine. So I was disappointed by one thing watching this trailer though. Where's Cable? Where's my man Cable? Who's literally trapped in the past after the end of the last movie?
Yeah.
Where's my man Cable when they're celebrating his birthday at the beginning?
Oh my god.
Cable should be there.
He totally should. Maybe because I feel like they've hidden some things from us.
Josh Brolin was all coy about it. Someone asked him like directly, and he was just like, "Oh, well, I guess you may have to watch the movie and find out."
Yeah,
huh?
See.
Yeah, he was all coy about it, but yeah, I do think that they would be stupid not to keep rolling around as Cable because Cable is not only great as a character, but Josh Brolin is great playing that character.
He's fantastic.
He gets that character and who he should be.
When it's even better because he's been called Thanos in Deadpool canon, which I love.
They did that at the end of the second Deadpool.
They totally did. Yeah. So
I recently rewatched them because of it.
Did you?
Yeah. When I saw the trailer, I was like, I don't want to watch those Deadpool movies again. I haven't seen those in a while.
So it's funny. I was taking a morning stroll, and as I was doing this, I was kicking around just how crazy that first Deadpool movie was, and like just how wildly exciting it was for a comic book movie, because a bunch of people that weren't into the comic book flicks at that point in time were like, I'm actually going to go watch this one because it's rated R. These are idiots that I worked with, okay?
Weren't into the comic book movies. That was the height of phase 2 of the MCU.
I am not here. I'm not going to...
That was Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron time.
I'm not arguing that or disputing that in any way. I work with a bunch of fucking guys that are like, no, those are fucking kiddie nerdy movies. I don't watch that shit.
Okay, well, they are the minority.
I'm not saying that they aren't, okay? But hearing those guys get stoked for this goofy movie was awesome. And then, it was not the first, okay, that's a lie. It was an R-rated superhero movie that was getting a massive budget and already had a crazy following at that point in time, because Blade was rated R, I think.
Blade was R. All 3 Blades were R.
Yeah,
actually, no. I think the third one was PG-13.
Yeah, one of them was PG-13. I think the one with Ryan Reynolds was.
Yeah, that was PG-13. That was the third one.
Okay. Was that third? I thought it was the second for some reason.
Blade 2 was the one where they had the vampires that were like eating vampires.
Oh yeah.
And, like the vampires needed Blade's help to like fight this weird vampire eating.
The super vampire. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones that's like mouths open.
They open like
the Predator.
This.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third one was where they brought Dracula in. And
that's
that
right.
was terrible.
It was a bad flick.
It's really bad.
Yeah. At that point, I'm gonna just watch Underworld. You know.
Well, like I said, it was also the one that was PG-13, and Blade is a character who needs R. He's a fucking vampire hunter.
He needs the hard R.
Well, it does. I mean, like he's look. The Venture Brothers made fun of Blade in the character of Jefferson Twilight.
Sure.
Jefferson Twilight takes pleasure in taking vampire teeth. He's got a necklace that he wears that's just like made out of vampire teeth. Mm-hmm. But again, what he's taking pleasure in is torturing a vampire.
Sure.
And that is the part of Blade he shares, right?
Right.
Now, Blade loves fucking these guys up in the worst, most painful
Absolutely.
ways.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it just needs an R rating. And if you were going to dumb it down a little bit for a younger audience, you were always going to lose the hardcore fans.
Well, that's what's funny. When the first movie came out, I was not 17. So I watched the shit out of that.
I'm an old man. Yeah, I saw the first Blade in theaters.
I saw it in theaters as well.
In fact, I think I saw all the Blade movies in theaters.
I know I saw the first and second in theaters. The third one, I think I got at Blockbuster.
Yeah, no.
Dating myself there.
Yeah, we're old men. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm older every day too, man.
But no, I think Deadpool 3 is got a good idea, right? Using the TVA is a good way to cross the dimensional barriers between where we were versus where we are. And there was a couple of questions that immediately popped up in my brain watching the trailer that I think there are answers for already, right? The first is, what is his Nexus event? Well, the last movie has him literally traveling through time using the time slide device, killing versions of himself. I mean, there's the bigger, longer, uncut version of the movie has him literally like going back to kill baby Hitler. Mm-hmm. Like, so mucking around with his timeline is clearly his Nexus event. It is what makes the TVA have to pay attention to him.
Sure.
And then I think the next big question was, why is he important, right? Loki was important because a Loki was the one they were hunting. Mm-hmm. So having the perspective of another Loki was important. That's why they kept him around. It's what made him important even after they had finished that first season.
Sure.
Why is Wade important? Now, I think there is an obvious answer, but what do you think?
Well, because
why is Wade important?
I think because he's done it before. I feel like that's what makes him important.
Done what?
Done the whole time hopping, killing thing. And I feel like that kind of that is my only guess there.
Right. Why is the TVA going to prune the Fox timeline but let Deadpool live? Right? Why is he special? Because Loki's timeline, the timeline that version of Loki comes from in the aftermath of Avengers, was pruned. Because that's not how that timeline was supposed to go. Loki was supposed to get taken back to Asgard.
So then he's obviously missing from the proper timeline.
No, Deadpool's in his timeline.
No. I mean, missing from his proper place in this other universe. Then maybe I don't know. That would be my guess. Then what you're thinking?
But I think what the larger question is, we know what this is they're pruning the Fox universe. Hell, we see them fighting in the void at the end of time, with a big 20th Century Fox logo behind them, sitting in the ground. So purging the 20th Century Fox timeline is what the point of the movie is. But Wade is from that timeline. So why is Wade important? Why does he get to live? What makes him special? Well, I think the thing that makes him special is that he knows this is a movie.
Oh,
he knows this is a comic book. He knows he's a character.
The obvious thing that I didn't
gravitate
toward, his breaking down of that wall.
And if you look at what the TVA is, existing outside of space and time, the MCU is a movie to them.
That's fair.
I mean, when they bring in Loki, they literally show him a clip show of all of his moments.
That's fair.
It's a movie to them. They're watching the timeline from an outsider's perspective, like we are.
Yep.
Wade knows
that
it's all
in
fake.
The flick. Yep. Okay. No, that makes sense.
I think that makes him important. I don't know how that makes him important to the TVA, but I think that is the reason he's important. I think they're going to use the fourth wall break within the fourth wall break to give Wade his importance. Now, what does that mean for Wade? Well, Vanessa has been the motivating factor of everything he's done.
Of course.
From the very first movie to where we left him at the end of the last movie, going back in time to stop her death.
Yep.
Well, if the timeline gets pruned and Wade's the only one that gets saved, well, that might explain why he's in the void at the end of time. He goes to the void at the end of time to find Vanessa.
Makes perfect sense.
Now, I don't know that any of this shit is true. I'm just watching the trailer and trying to put the pieces together. That's because fair. You are taking a character from a different company's cinematic universe and bringing him over to this one. Because
he's a license to print money.
Well, yes, that, but also I want to see all these characters in the same universe.
Of course.
When we watched Multiverse of Madness, the one thing that's the most exciting thing about that, and the story I would much rather have watched, is that universe where the X-Men, the Inhumans, the Avengers,
damn right,
and the Fantastic Four all fought Thanos together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a much more interesting story. And I like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, if I'm being unclear. I thought it was a good movie.
Great flick, yep.
But I think within that movie was a movie I'd much rather have seen.
Sure. I think that's very fair.
Even though we're past the Thanos story, the Kang story can have the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, all working together.
And to not do it at this point in time when we finally have the ability to do it would be just a massive disservice to everything.
Right.
So I think you're 100% right there.
Yeah. So I don't know, but either way, I've watched that trailer way too many times. I've showed it to way too many people. It also broke a trailer record for like most views in a day.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it got a ridiculous amount of views in one day. And what did I say? I've said this many times on this show. If you've been watching and you've been paying attention, everybody has been a little butthurt. Everybody has been down on what Marvel's been doing and how there's too much stuff and it's not what I want it to be. And then Deadpool 3 is the most watched trailer in a 24-hour period.
Right.
I've been saying that when this movie comes out,
this is also
all those people are going to be like, "Oh no, I'm back."
It's the breath of fresh air that I think they're wanting.
But I don't think
it's the character that.
But I don't see it being any real deviation from what a MCU movie has become at this point.
I agree. The thing with it is, it's a character that we've wanted to see next to these other characters for a good period of time, and we haven't
see
really
all the X-Men characters with these other characters.
Of course, and the only time we got a brief snippet of that was in Multiverse of Madness.
That's not true.
When was it? What was the other one?
Marvels.
Oh, you know what?
The Marvels had Beast in it.
You're right. They did have Beast in the Marvels.
Yeah, right at the end.
But I guess that was the first and the biggest one because we had a Mr. Fantastic, a Professor X, and all that fun stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And that was like the first time where it was like, oh, this is real. Like, we're actually going to get this now.
Yeah.
So I think you're right, though. And Multiverse of Madness was a cool fucking flick, man. That one.
I liked it.
It was so frustrating that people shit on that one.
Excuse me. Yeah, I liked it. I had no problem with it. I thought it was a good movie.
And then, dude,
I like Sam Raimi though, so maybe I'm biased.
That might be it.
Yeah, I'm just biased to like Sam Raimi things.
And then, dude, this week Avatar, the live action series.
It is this
out.
week.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did see a trailer recently that I guess is like the final trailer. It was really just about the Avatar state. That was what the trailer was about. And it had fucking Kyoshi in it. Like full-on Avatar Kyoshi in that flashback. And I was just like, that's pretty fucking cool. I'm excited to see that. Yeah, I want to see all them people. I want to see Roku. I want to see Kyoshi. I want to see Yang Chen.
Well, and this just opens the floodgates. Like, we could potentially get an Avatar Roku movie, all these different avatars or series, and I would be in for it. Or doing a live action Korra, I'm in.
I don't think live action is, at least for the larger story, the creators have, like, Nickelodeon has just given them a bunch of money to make more Avatar cartoons. Yeah. So those things will probably be done in cartoon.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The original creators want to do a story about Avatar Roku. I'm in. That's great.
Done. Yeah.
I don't want the Netflix people doing that. Because that's a story we haven't seen yet. I would rather the original creators flesh that out.
And I agree. I totally agree.
We know pieces of that story because of the flashbacks when he's talking to Roku at the winter solstice. But yeah, no, I think it looks good. I'm excited.
I'm beyond excited.
I think it looks good. I think there was a shot. It's quick, but it's clearly when he's in the Avatar state of the Northern Water Tribe and he turns into a big giant water monster because there's like a big like water tentacle comes kind of sliding across, knocking into a boat. And I was just like, oh no, that's awesome.
It's so fucking cool, dude. Really cool. It's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think regardless of how this show stacks up to the original, I'm still excited to see some of these things in live action.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think even if it's a poor imitation of what the animated show is, and people don't like it and never gets another season, I think just this first book, there's some stuff I want to see in live action.
100%. I totally agree.
Yeah,
One, if they're able to capture any of that, like any of the magic that made Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'll be a happy guy. And based off of what I've seen so far and just previews, I think they did it.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be cool. I think it's definitely gonna be better than that crap M. Night Shyamalan tried to call Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, that was horrendous too. Yeah.
So, I think even if it's one tiny iota better than that, it's gonna be great.
Agreed. I agree. Yeah, that was like a molestation of the Book of Water there.
Well, you can't cram the entire book into 2 hours. You just can't do it. It's just not ridiculous. It's not how it works. It's too much story. It's too much character development.
Right.
By the end of that first season, I don't need you to develop Katara or Sokka or even Aang really anymore. I know who they are. Now they continue to develop them throughout the next few seasons. But I'm saying they did so much with that first season. No, I don't need you to tell me anymore. I know who these people are.
Right.
And allowed them to take a back seat so that we could introduce, characters like Toph and flesh out Zuko and Azula and the relationship with their family a little more.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like I said,
more Uncle Iroh. It was awesome.
There is a clip you can watch of Zuko freeing Iroh from the Earthbenders.
Oh yes,
who had taken him prisoner. And yeah, it looks good. He looks
so
great.
Cool.
That guy who's playing Iroh, he's Tavon, I think is his name. In the Mandalorian story, he's a rebel pilot, the main rebel pilot that we keep seeing pop up, the Asian guy. So yeah, I like him. I already liked him.
He's so cool, man.
So yeah, I'm excited to see him play Uncle Iroh. I like Uncle Iroh. He's probably one of my favorite characters. The new trailer also showed off a little more of Boomy fighting.
Yes, it did.
Like old man Boomy.
Yes, it did.
And oh man,
Boomy's a bad man.
Old man
dude.
Boomy is the best.
He is he's bad man. He's so
can't wait.
Cool.
He also has probably one of my favorite lines in the entirety of the series when they meet the White Lotus, and he just says, "Didn't you know that all old people know each other and hang out?" Like he just embraces, like, no, this is an old people's club. We're like all best friends. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see that. I really hope that episode, or at least that part of the story, is just a recreation of the animated stuff.
I totally agree with you.
The big giant bunny that's like his pet. It's just great. I just can't. I gotta see Flopsy in there.
I totally agree. Totally agree with you.
I gotta see Flopsy in there. Yeah, and then the other thing that's kind of big and on the cusp of being released, hell, it might even we'll be even closer to it being released by the time you're out there listening to this. Is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out on Leap Day, which from our point of view is like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, super close.
Like next weekend.
Yeah. This is a big one for the FF nerds.
Yeah. I mean, it's continuing the story of Remake, which was great. I mean, it only contained the Midgar section. And I think they padded it a little bit. I mean, you're taking a section that in the original game took like 2 hours to do and stretching it into a 40-hour video game. But I think for the most part, that padding was good. Like the side content was fun. It was engaging. It helped develop the characters a little more. It introduced new characters. It allowed characters that were very minimal in the original game to get more story and flesh out a little more and have the impact of big moments with those characters hit harder than it did in the original story. But yeah, this is a big chunk that they you know, the funny thing is it's a big chunk, but it's only takes you through to the end of disc 1 of the original game.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. It's going to take you from leaving Midgar all the way up to the Forgotten City. And I'm not even going to say spoilers because this is a game that is
20 years old.
20 years. It came out in 1997.
Is it 97?
Yes.
Fuck, dude.
So it's more than 10 years old.
Yeah, so we're creeping up on 30 here.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to, I don't even think, if you don't know the story and you're going into it fresh, look away, I guess.
Go like this.
Yeah, cover your ears and go la, 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 la. The Forgotten City is when Aerith is killed by Sephiroth. And there is speculation as to whether or not that's actually going to be how the story ends this time around. I just think it should. I think it should be that. But I'm open to the fact that it might not be.
Okay.
Right? Because the first game was not what I expected it to be. It was what I expected it to be right up until the end. And then it became something entirely different and frees this game's story up to do things differently. And I'm
Which
fine
could
with
be
that.
cool, yeah.
That could be cool. But yeah, there's a demo out now. The demo's about to get an update, which is just the weirdest thing in the world to be able to say. Demo is getting an update with more content.
I can't believe their balls are so big that they're like, oh, don't worry.
There's more demo to come.
There's more demo for you kids.
Yeah, so this coming weekend, the demo's getting an expansion, which will add in a part of the open world to explore with chocobos and different things to little side content to kind of check out. But the original demo is the first chapter of the game, I believe, right? They're in Calm, the party's in Calm at the inn, and Cloud is telling them the story of what happened in Nibelheim, which is the town he is from, when everything went to shit and the whole town, a bunch of people got murdered, his mom got killed. It's a dark tale. Also a story that is not right in the way he's telling it.
Okay.
He was not the soldier working alongside Sephiroth. It was Zack who was that soldier. Cloud has like co-opted Zack's life.
Okay.
In his brain, he thinks he is Zack. Cloud was actually never a soldier. He was just a grunt in the Shinra army, one of those helmeted grunt guys that gets killed by Cloud all the time in the remake game. So it's funny, right? Because for the longest time, our window into this story was text boxes.
Right.
Now we have performers acting it out. And so Cloud is not like Zack at all. At least they wasn't back then. He's co-opted his life and he tries to be like him now, but he wasn't back then. So to see Cloud being Zack was really interesting from watching the performer like,
sure.
Look, I'm playing my character, but I have to play him differently. I have to play him like, Yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, Whee! Great, guys. Good job. Teamwork. So that was great.
You can do anything if you do it together.
That is Zach. Zach is a cliche hero guy. Okay. Absolutely. Teamwork makes the dream work type of guy.
Love it.
So it takes you through the flashback, which had you going up the mountain because something was wrong with the Nebel reactor. The Nebel Mako reactor was the first Mako reactor built, and instead of being run by the kind of infrastructure department, it's actually run by R&D. So it's like not a typical reactor. Sure. It was used for experiments. So yeah, the flashback, like I said, told from Cloud's perspective, and he's telling the story with Tifa in the room. That is the funniest thing because she knows what the real story is. Cloud's mind is all fucked up, but Tifa was
BSing
there.
A little bit, yeah.
Tifa was there, but she doesn't call him out on it. She kind of lets it go. Because she's not really sure what's happening in this guy's brain.
She's like, this squirrely bitch right here.
Because Tifa knew Zach.
Right.
Zach was the soldier Zach and Sephiroth were the soldiers she guided up the mountain to the reactor. But so it's cool. It kind of gives you a little bit of time to explore Nibelheim. You can go do the little scene with your mom where you go visit your mom. You can go to Tifa's house and play the piano. They also, for some reason, I don't understand why, still let you be a pervert and go through Tifa's dresser, which is just really weird in the flashback. Yeah, like you get interrupted and you get a chance to back out because the interruption is like from the present day and you just hear Tifa's voice like, you went through my drawers?
That's funny as hell.
And Aerith chimes in like, yeah, what's up with that? Because you're like a pervert to them right now. You're telling the story of this flashback, how you walked into Tifa's house uninvited and just started going through her drawers. Yeah. So then the game gives you the option to say, yeah, I definitely did, or nah, I was just kidding.
I was just messing with you.
Just kidding.
Gotcha.
Only the creepiest of the creeps, I think, would say, yeah, I totally did.
You into that?
Yeah. Most people would probably just say, nah, I was just kidding.
I'm going to back away from this one now, yeah.
But playing the piano is something you could do in the original. In the original game, it was when you revisit Nibelheim in the present day, it's how you get Tifa's limit break, her ultimate limit break, which was, I think, just called Seventh Heaven. It was named after the
TV series.
No. It's named after the bar that Tifa runs, which predates that terrible religious sitcom, whatever the hell that was. I don't even know what that was. You made me lose my train of thought.
Seventh Heaven.
So Seventh Heaven, you find her limit break there in the piano. But in this one, they've turned the piano, just like everything in the game, they stretch it out a little bit. They turned the piano into like a full-fledged mini game. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of sat there and played with that thing for way longer than I should have, probably. It's fun. It's actually kind of fun.
It's engaging.
Yeah, and when you get because the timing's weird, right? It's kind of like a Guitar Hero type of situation where you have the two sticks and you have 6 keys or 7 keys around the sticks, and then little lines kind of come up, and when it gets to the end, you got to push the stick in that direction.
Got you.
And some of the notes are, from both ends of the piano. So some of the notes are the same direction, but on both sticks. Yeah. Or opposite directions at the same time on both sticks. So yeah, like I said, I probably did it much longer than I should have. But
he was just loving it. He's like, dude,
it was really fun.
He's like, I'm a great fucking musician.
It was really fun.
That's
I'm not gonna
awesome.
lie. And then you go up the mountain, and the big thing that changes the way they tell it in this story is in the original game, you do go up the mountain with Sephiroth, and he's in the party, but he acts on his own.
Sure.
So when his little active time meter would fill up, he would just automatically take his turn. You're not giving him orders. The difference in this one is you get to take control of Sephiroth.
Nice.
And he's a beast. I mean, look, I like Cloud. I really do. I love his moves. I love his weaponry. I love his combo system. I love his everything. But I wasn't playing as Cloud at all during that first playthrough. It was just like,
nice.
Sephiroth's the leader, and every time I go into battle, nah, fuck you, Cloud. You just do your own thing. I'm playing with this guy now.
So I got in trouble for not playing it as soon as Jason got here. He's like, have you been playing? And I'm like, no, I honestly haven't. He's like, you have an hour. He's like, you need to be doing this. And
it could take more than an hour if you're like me and sit for 30 minutes playing a piano. But if you're just going through it, yeah, it's probably about an hour.
That's so funny. So just so you guys don't get in trouble like I did, make sure to go play.
Whatever. Shut up. Like I'm going to hunt down all the listeners and make sure.
Listen, all 4 of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And we probably know you, and you've probably already played this.
Yeah.
If you haven't, it's on.
No, it's good. It's going to be a really good game. I mean, they just took the overworld map and turned it into sections of an open world map.
Love it.
Where all the towns are to scale, just sitting on the map where they should go.
Nice.
Instead of being like, my sprite is as tall as the town.
Right.
And as I approach it, then we load in the town.
Yeah, I called it a pawn.
Yeah, sure.
When my friends, I was like, hey, move your pawn over there. I want to see this.
Yeah, sure.
It was so
But
fun.
yeah, so the towns just sit where they should go to scale with the rest of the world around it. Yeah, I mean, the trailers look great. Everything. When you finish the little demo, it's like, press any button to see some more stuff. And they show you a little teaser trailer for the game.
Brilliant.
It's great. Yeah, I'm going to lose all my time. All my time is going to be lost when this game releases.
Before you guys lose all your time, you need to go to entertainthegeeky.com. Get yourselves a copy of Merle's Truck Stop in Maine. I've been saying it for 7 years. I should not fuck that name up ever. Get yourself a copy of Merle's Truck Stop in Maine. It's free. The world famous one-page role-playing game.
Every time.
Every time, baby.
World famous.
You can like us and follow us on all of our social media.
How does it get to be world famous and we're not world famous? That doesn't make sense.
You know what's actually funny about this? Because people in Russia and stuff will get it.
That's so weird.
Man. Isn't it a weird thing to think of?
So weird, man.
Some folks in Singapore, a couple of folks in England, a guy in France. I've actually talked to the guy in France that's played it.
Does he speak English?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get emails, then having to translate them?
No, these folks are very cultured, not like me. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm a derelict. I'm like, Je suis la jeune fille. I saw that in a commercial once. Don't know what it means. Good luck. So yeah, like, follow, comment, subscribe. Give us your input. Are you stoked for fucking Deadpool 3?
And Fantastic Four? And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is the closest of all those things.
So, oh yeah, and Avatar?
And Avatar.
Live action
Actually,
Avatar?
that Avatar is the closest.
That is the closest.
That's the 22nd. That's like 2 days from now.
And if there's anything else that you guys want to hear us talk about, let us know. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, stay geeky.